Next to me is my boy B, and we're here to talk about all the wonderful happenings in the worldwide world. I said world twice of sports this week.
You you good
So,
there? I thought I was done.
oh man, so B, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. It's been a great week.
Yeah,
Shout out to um, the San Francisco Card Show this weekend was happening down at the South San Francisco Convention Center. Great turnouts today and yesterday. Got to sell some cards. Got to buy some cards. And I know there was a car show out in Sacramento, out in your area too. So shout
okay.
out to the entire Bay Area for representing a
Well,
hobby that is just
are you
it's
saying
near and dear.
Sacramento's the Bay Area?
And look, I'm giving them their one credit. Now, whether they want to take it or not, that is up to them. But all I'm saying is, everyone showed up and showed out for these card shows here, and it's great to see, man, because there were a lot of young kids there.
Yeah,
Probably kids spending their parents' money because they were buying stuff like I can't even afford, to say the
yeah,
least. You know what I'm saying? But just seeing kids getting into the hobby, trading cards, we all remember as kids, going down to the store, getting something and having a card in our hand, and even if it was just putting it on a bike's boat, it was still good. But just seeing everyone kind of lively in the hobby is always fun to watch.
yeah, man, absolutely, absolutely. And folks, this is your first time hearing us, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. Hit that like button. We appreciate that too. And if you are subscribed,
Smash it
hit
all.
that notification button. We appreciate all three of them. Hit all three of them. Do what you all at the same time. Uh, yeah, man. Well, yeah, I remember growing up. I had a lot of baseball cards. A lot of them I inherited. I don't even know where they are now, man. It's been so long, but being able to, like you said, as a kid to collect anything. I know I was a nerd, so I collected a lot of the comic books. I still have them. They're still here. So,
There's still
but
there's still a large industry for
yeah,
for comic books too.
absolutely,
Like
man.
it's crazy.
So it's always cool to see how that has not gone away with all the wonderful technology there is out there. There's nothing like having a paper, a card in your hand or something tangible you can touch and stare at and put on your wall or put in a binder or whatever. So that's pretty
But it
cool,
just
man.
it just means something to you,
Yeah,
like certain athletes you collect,
yeah,
and even a 50 cent card means the world to you because that's who you cherish
yeah,
and want to collect there. The same goes for comics as well. So
yeah, man.
it's something that's dope.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, let's jump into it. We're gonna dive into some of the NBA happenings to kind of start off with. I know we talked about free agency last week, where pretty much everything in free agency happened, all in one weekend, just about. But
Yeah.
we have one team that's kind of limping into free agency, joining the party after everyone has left. I don't know if we can call it fashion. I don't know if we can call it fashionably late, but
No,
the
it's not.
Golden State Warriors have signed another player, more or less. So I mean, CP3 thing was obviously the big deal for them. Although I feel like that was more to get off of Jordan Poole's contract. But they
Yeah,
added Dario Saric, who I think played with the Oklahoma City, I
he did.
believe. Um, nice talk, big guy who could shoot. He could stretch the floor for you. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, it,
It's not. It's like the Warriors were targeting him all this entire time.
yeah,
Um, so they got what they wanted.
good,
Obviously they can't spend a whole lot of money because they've got contracts that are going to need to be paid over the next couple of years here. So at this point, you have to accept what you can get off of
exactly.
the budget that you have. Basically, you're $1 billion organization with a Dollar Tree budget right now, just because of all the money that's tied up into a few players there. So I like it. Not the size we're really looking for, but again, gives us a chance to really stretch the court with him on there. Um,
Yeah,
it's hopefully going to open him with a few more shots with guys like Curry and Paul on the court,
yeah,
to create more open looks for him. So it's a nice addition. I think this is one that may be under the radar as much as everyone knew that he was going to be targeted by the Warriors. This is something that will definitely be kind of crept on. If he has a breakout season, I mean, obviously you're not going to be able to keep him next year because he's going to get more money, as we saw how this free agency went
yeah.
down.
Everybody got
Um,
paid. Yeah,
but it's a cheap rental, to say the least. But that's what they can afford right now. They can't afford anything else outside of that. So
absolutely.
unless you move players, but I think their roster, I think this is set now. They're going to run with what they have here. It's still a good crew to go with. It's just I think there's going to be changes at the trade deadline if you don't see any kind of production from some key players this coming season.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the Warriors are like you and your high school friends going to the local pizza spot or somewhere to eat, and you're pooling all your money together to try to figure out how we can get everybody something to eat. So that's what the Warriors are doing. Well, did you get a chance to? Yeah, did you get a chance to see any of the summer league play for the Golden State Warriors? And if
The G League team looks amazing out there, man. Because there's only
the Santa
honestly there's
Cruz
only really one.
Warriors are playing, guy.
The Santa Cruz Warriors are out there in full effect, and honestly, the only player really looking to make a roster, obviously, I think in my mind, who is going to be kind of who could be a contributor is Trace Jackson Davis, the kid they drafted from Indiana. He's pretty solid to go around there. A lot of room for development. He kind of reminds me of Patrick Baldwin Jr., but maybe just a little more skilled
Okay.
to say. But I do like Trey Jackson. He's got handles. I think it's going to be a very good project for him to be a part of that starting lineup. But in all honesty, that's probably the only guy because they're really going off of that roster that they've already assembled. That is, kind of just chilling right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would say so. I don't know if anyone other than maybe we're saying maybe Jackson Davis has a chance
Yeah,
to even really get some actual time on this roster, or on the team for the regular season, the Warriors for the regular season. So you've addressed one need with getting a kind of a stretch forward type player. I mean, what is the next the next hole that the Warriors need to fill as far as personnel wise?
the biggest hole in the room, which is a backup center. I mean, we're not getting one, dude. I looked at their up to date roster. There's no one over 7 feet, not even close to 7 feet.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So this is going to be a very, very small lineup when the season kicks off here. Now, if something changes, that it changes. But dude, they need to get a backup center. I don't think you're going to ask Dario to be a backup center. That's not what he is.
yeah. No.
You know, so it'd be an interesting way if they go out and get another center. Kevon Looney, every single day that the Warriors don't sign a center, he's breathing heavy because he knows he's got to run up and down the court again. You know what I'm saying? So they still need to
Man,
get a center, and you got to use your Dollar Tree budget to go
that's
out and
right.
get it now. So
They,
you
I
know,
mean,
go get your
you
center,
still
please.
got a few guys left out there. Christian Wood is a good one, a good player that's out
We've been
there.
talking about it this entire time, man. It's like you might as well
Bismack,
just go get them.
Bismack Biombo, who all he does is block shots, is another guy that maybe the Warriors. Those are guys that Biombo can definitely get take a 1 year minimum contract. I mean, that's the
Oh,
type of
hundred
players.
percent.
So I think there's some opportunity. Maybe the Warriors are just waiting around to figure that out. But Christian Wood would be a huge grab if he doesn't get picked up by someone else on a larger contract. I mean, the guy is fairly young. He's a scoring machine. He averaged almost 17 points last year with the Dallas Mavericks before he kind of fell out of grace, as did the entire team towards the end of the season there.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't necessarily kill him for that because the rest of the team didn't do very well either. So yeah, I
yeah,
think that would be a great pickup if you could find a way to get him to accept a minimum contract because I'm sure a guy that young probably is not trying to get paid, that 1.2 or 1.7 or whatever it is, $2 million. So we'll see
it
how that goes,
definitely
man.
isn't. And JJ, welcome to the group. We'll dive into the Laker talk right now
Oh, you already
because
know, JJ. You
Taj is he's
already
already thrilled.
know.
So the Lakers, Taj, you actually
Already.
had a chance to go to the summer league,
That's
man.
right.
Or to the California Classic. Did you? What did you get? What did you take away from watching bad basketball at its finest?
Hey, well, you know what? It was a lot of fun. I mean, I got to give it up. The Golden One Center is a nice stadium. It's we had some seats that were up in the second level, but we didn't feel like we could do. We still could see the game fairly well. I took my family with me, hot dogs. I mean, anything you could think of, hamburgers, pizzas. We popcorn. We ate it. So it was a lot of fun. The summer. I thought as far as the play went, yeah, it was pretty rugged. I think the San Antonio Spurs, their team was the only team that came out there and looked like they were like poised and somewhat ready to play, and that only makes sense because whenever you're on a team, it'd be a team that didn't have such a great season, you're gonna have some pretty good young talent on your squad, and they did. So, it was fun to watch. I got to see the Lakers get out there, got to get out there with the Sacramento fans and wear a Lakers shirt and hear Lakers suck and all this type of stuff, even though they were playing the Heat. It didn't really matter. Any chance to crap on the Lakers, Sacramento fans are going to take that opportunity because I can't be mad at them. We did them pretty bad back there back in the 2000s. So I understand why they are a little upset. But yeah, man, it was a great
I'd
experience.
be mad too. I'd be mad too if all of my championship banners came from my WNBA team
Dude,
and not
there are no banners
not my
there, man.
NBA team.
No banners. It was like they
Paul
had
McCartney's got the biggest banner in that arena.
exactly. I was like,
But
man,
hey,
no wonder these guys are so. I mean, they were once the Kings actually played the Warriors. I mean, they were out there yelling and screaming like it was a legit regular season game. I was very surprised. Well, maybe I'm not surprised. What am I
it's
saying?
in the playoffs, so I mean, you got to carry it
Yeah,
over into the California Classic, I guess.
absolutely, absolutely. And I'm thinking in the back of my
Jesus.
head, if I could have been there during Game 7 where Steph literally destroys that whole team and leaves that stadium silent, wow, that must have hurt. So I mean, that had
Depends
to
on who
hurt.
you ask. That was awesome.
Yeah,
I was
well,
sitting
yeah.
there
I'm just
listening to the
saying,
great.
just being in there and just feeling some of the energy from the Kings fans and how they are, man. They were just out there, hyping and cussing and yelling about the refs and everything. And I'm like, dude, this is a summer league game. What is happening? Anyway, so
Yeah.
great experience. I suggest if
Let's
you have an opportunity, if you can go to summer league, do it because it's 3 games for one ticket price. You're watching three. It's an all day basketball
can't
thing.
beat that.
3 p.m. to 9 p.m. You're watching basketball, so it's really cool.
Yeah, and obviously we do want to watch the NBA, but this is about as close as you'll get, and especially with them holding it in these NBA arenas, man, it's a perfect time to take your family. It
Yeah,
is
yep.
it is to be the best time. But let's get to your Lakers real quick. Let's talk
Oh
about the summer
man,
league for the Lakers here. Obviously, a lot of young pieces here, so I know you've had a chance to catch your Lakers in the summer league. Who are the players who are standing out for you, and what have you enjoyed the most with this young crew?
I don't think it's a surprise that Max Christie has been pretty solid throughout the entire summer league, and he's actually had some time during the regular season and is on the roster. So he's been in actual NBA action, whereas these other guys have not. So Max Christie definitely looks good out there. He looks really good playing in a pick and roll situation where he's more the primary ball handler instead of just being a guy who's playing off the ball and just catch and shoot. Had one play where he came off the screen, was quick enough to get around the help defender, goes right up at the rim towards the center and just dunks all over him. So I mean, the guy is play. He's only 20. He's got plenty of athleticism and upside, and he's one of the guys that I will look to and say, yeah, this is a guy that can actually play. 10 minutes in during the regular season of the NBA game, and hopefully he pushes himself forward because that's what we need. The Lakers need some young guys to kind of step up and offer some youth, because we have one of the oldest stars in the game on our squad. So yeah, Max Christie looked really good. But again, I'm not that surprised because he's playing against G Leaguers and he's an actual NBA player. As far as the other dudes, Shafino looked pretty skittish the first game. I mean, I watched it in person. He looked a little scared and timid, which I guess you should expect from a rookie who's, there's a lot of pressure and juices flowing through your body. You're trying to settle down, and it's taken him a couple of games to settle down, but now he looks a lot better on his shot, looks better in dribble penetration, getting all the way to the rim, and also being a little calm enough to knock down some of his mid range jumpers. So I like the way he looks. Now I don't think he's a guy that's going to make the roster. I don't, or excuse me, he's on the roster. I don't think he's a guy who's going to break in and get minutes during the regular season. But I think he's a guy that you could put in your G League and watch him continue to develop. And I got to talk about these other two. These are two really good mentions. Castleton. So Castleton was a 7-foot guy. He was undrafted. We picked him up on a 2-way contract, undrafted, and he has been an absolute revelation. I mean, the guy's in there rebounding, putting shots up it around the rim with efficiency, and he's doing. He even rebounds and can bring the ball up the floor. He's had a couple of good passes today. So he actually looks like a pretty good undrafted center that they have on the Summer League roster. And I think that's a guy you can also stash in your G League and watch him develop. And then last but not least, Max Lewis. Max Lewis was the, I believe it was, we took him with was it the 40th pick? Guy has the smallest shorts on I've ever seen in my life. Like he's got the old school Larry Bird shorts on. I don't know why they're so short, but great athleticism, can defend, and is actually a really good shot creator. So these are a couple of guys I've watched, and I think will be good in the future. But of them all, Max Christie is the only guy I see actually having. He's going to get some time this season.
Yeah, and first I do want to apologize to our users here. It looks like somebody came in and dropped some pretty vulgar comments there. So I do apologize that that did take place. He's been those comments have been deleted here from our channel. So really wasn't expecting that uh, to hit our airwaves there. So we do apologize about that, everyone. But back to the conversation here. You know, your team has already made some very big moves during the offseason. Is there anything that they could possibly add to this already set roster with what they have going on?
Oh man, I mean the only thing that's left is to probably grab another center. There have been talks about AD wanting to go back to the four, which he's always wanted to do. And in order to do that, they're going to need the type of center to put beside him. So I think they're going to get one more big. We have two more roster spots left, and I think they also, much like the Warriors, will be looking for another big. We already who's Jackson Hayes, who's going to be a very good player. I'm not sure if he's the type of player you want to put beside AD, but he is a guy who can kind of run, jump, and dunk. And that's kind of a rebound and dunk, and that's kind of what we need. So I think they're going to try to pick up another center. We don't need any more wings. We got plenty of those. We are 3-point shooters. We don't have any necessarily like 3-point shot assassins, but I think we have enough 3-and-D guys or guys that can do more than one thing that should help us out. So another big will help.
Yeah, like your team. We need the centers. You guys are good. We could use the center, so don't worry about
we
it.
ain't
Right?
sharing.
Let's take it from here. But let's go around the league because I can't believe we're going to discuss Britney Spears and the NBA. But let's talk about it here because for some odd reason she knew who Victor Wembanyama was, got a little too close, and found herself getting smacked. The initial report was by one of Victor's security guards, and then she publicly comes out and says she slapped herself. What are you making of this right here?
It's such
Like,
it's such a
Vegas is weird. I know Vegas is weird already, and some you know we've all been to Vegas and we've seen some just weird crap go down, but this is kind of right up there with it. So when you saw this, T, what you think
well.
of Britney Spears trying to get a piece of Victor?
It's such a weird story, man. But I mean, if you can imagine a 5'6" woman running up to the back of a 7'5" man trying to tap him on the back, it's probably just not a good idea. You know, I mean, I just think, I just, I'm actually just surprised that Britney Spears knows who Wembanyama is. And maybe she just thought it was some random basketball player, and this was like I'm about to get an autograph. But you know, I'd like to hear a little bit more about what she thinks about Wembanyama's prospects in the NBA. But it's such a weird story, right? Like it's the most randomest thing I've ever heard of. I think what makes me crack up is the fact that they completely disregarded her, like she was like a groupie that had just ran from outside and just kind of did one of these numbers, and he just threw his hand back. And to make matters worse, it didn't even make contact with Britney's face. It hits her hand or arm, and she ends up slapping herself. It's just, you know, the story just gets dumber and dumber. So I just think it's funny that Wembanyama had to answer questions about it, and pretty much was like, I didn't even know what happened until like a few hours later. Like he had no idea which means his security did their job, by the way. But
Dude,
he had no idea
the
who she was
the
and
the
who that was.
funniest part about that video is you see Britney Spears running after
Yeah,
Victor
yeah,
Wembanyama.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I finally caught the video. Obviously, Lord and behold, it's going to be out.
yeah.
And I chuckled a little bit. I'm like, she does look like a groupie
Yeah,
going for an
yes, she
autograph, but
does. Right, hair wagging,
and
just
she's
running.
she's
Yeah, it was,
happily married too. You know what I'm saying? So she's got somebody. But man, dude, I was just the kid's got enough pressure on his plate already.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And his first night in Vegas, his second night in Vegas, this takes place for him.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, what in the hell is going on
I
out
just got
there?
off the plane from France, and now I'm already caught up in a scandal. Like it doesn't make any. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
He took a page right out of Zion Williams' book, and he didn't have to do anything.
Oh man,
But speaking
I
of,
really think Britney was drinking though, man, because on the video, what's funny is after she slaps herself, pow, she she says something like only in America or something, but she says it in almost like a British accent, which I don't know if I think Britney might
dude,
have.
that whole
She might have been on the juice a little bit, she might have had a couple of drinks and, in the moment, thought she was going to get an autograph. I kind of feel bad for her. I hope she's not hurt, but it makes for a very, very funny story.
It definitely does. And that was how Summer League got started. So not only was Victor having to deal with the Britney Spears saga, but he had a pretty rough first game in
Oh, yeah, he
his
did.
debut
Yeah.
of the Summer League. A lot of naysayers finally decided to come out on judging a 19-year-old's first game against NBA, coming up NBA talent. And Taj, I'll let you start it off first. What did you think of Victor's first game as an NBA player, pretty much in the summer league?
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of what you expect. I mean, you've got a lot of nerves going. We talked about the Britney
Mm-hmm.
Spears situation. There's a lot of pressure on this kid. He's been touted as the best prospect seen since LeBron James in certain media outlets, and that's a lot to put on a 19-year-old. So that's what he looked like. He looked a little nervous. He looked a little out of character. He's playing with guys he's never played with before, and it just seemed like he kind of didn't know where to be and what to do at certain times of the game. Now, what we saw with him in some of the flashes of what he can do at his size is real. Being able to handle the ball at 7'5" like that is absolutely insane. Crossover dribble drives for a guy that tall looks crazier than Kevin Durant doing it for sure. And he just has to work on finishing around the rim and finding a way to rebound around the rim. It was a little tough for him. Guys were gunning for him because he's that number one
Mm-hmm.
pick. And so he didn't really impact the paint as much as he will. But yeah, man, I think it's what you can expect. I mean, let's not all forget guys like Steph Curry. I think he went 4 for 14 or something like that his first summer league game. I
Yeah.
mean, you're not going to start out that great. You know what I mean? Nobody comes in and just blows the doors off of the thing. So I think he's going to be a great player. But I've already said this and known this before. The way his body shape, it's going to take time for him to adjust to the NBA game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more physical, and it's going to be an entire year or 2 years worth of him getting beat up before he kindly gets into his full body and add a little bit of weight to it. He's only 19, so he's not
Yeah.
there yet.
That's what you guys got to remember. But this is a once in a generation talent that's taking place here. For what he can do at his size, like you
Oh yeah.
mentioned, the way Kevin Durant handles the ball at 6'10" really blew people
Oh my
away.
god. Yeah.
Watch his crossover at 7'4", dude. You see him at the free throw line; he damn near holds the basketball like a globe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's got that kind of, and he's actually got a pretty decent jump shot too. But let's pump the brakes on judging him on his first game, man. Like this kid is going to be a very special talent in the NBA. But man, is he going to get his ass whooped down in that paint there? And he's 19, man. Look at the way Giannis was built when he first broke into the league.
He looked like a kid. He looked like a baby.
Exactly.
Yep.
They're kids.
Yeah.
They're not. They're not. He's not out of his teens yet. He's still a teenager, to say the least.
Yeah.
And so once he gets going, once he starts hitting the weight room, once he gets that nutritionist helping him out, developing, it's gonna become a real scary situation for the NBA. So just enjoy what he's going to bring to the table. Don't judge him on his first game. He did get dunked on, but then again, everyone in the NBA has been dunked on,
Yeah.
so it happens.
Yep.
It happens at some point in your career. You might as well let it happen now in the G League or in the Summer League, better than in an arena full of people. But we kind of talked about this a lot. The NBA Summer League these next 2 years are going to be absolutely ginormous. You got Victor Wembanyama this year, and the draft class this year wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But next year's college class, on top of that, you've got Bronny James, who we all know he's going to opt out after 1 year of college.
Yeah.
So he's going to come into the NBA. He's going to be at the Summer League. It's going to be a popping time in Vegas. So T, I think me and you need to make sure we get out to the Summer League next year.
Oh man, I'm down, man. I had
to get a chance to witness all of this here.
I had a really good time at the one up here, and I can only imagine with all the star power and GMs and all these great players in the building. I think J. Cole was in the. I saw J. Cole on TV yesterday. At
J. Cole was there too.
So there's a lot of hoopla, a lot of stuff going on. You're gonna run into a lot of famous faces walking around. So yeah, man, most definitely.
All right.
All right. Let's talk about this stupid tournament. So if they
this stupid tournament.
So
geez, man, Jesus.
The NBA wasn't happy enough with the play-in, so they decided, what the heck? Let's go ahead and let's up the ante. They're going to do a in-season tournament, which more or less is going to be more. There are no additional regular season games, folks. It's still the same amount of games, but I guess they're just going to create some mid-season tournament and hand out $500K to the players on the winning team. So help me understand exactly what's going on here.
So it's like a World Cup format, right?
Yeah.
So they have groups, six groups here.
Group play.
Obviously they're going to keep all the East together, and they'll keep all the West together here. But the Group 1, you're going to have the Sixers, the Cavs, the Hawks, the Pacers, and the Pistons. Group 2 will be the Bucks, Knicks, Heat, Wizards, and Hornets. Group 3, the Nets, the Celtics, the Raptors, the Bulls, and the Magic. That's all going to be for the East there. So, they'll, and then in the West, you'll have the Grizzlies, the Suns, the Lakers, the Jazz, and the Blazers. Poor Portland's going to just kick themselves out of that one real quick.
Oh, man.
Group 5, you've got the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Pelicans, the Mavericks, and the Rockets. That's a pretty decent grouping there.
Yeah.
And then finally, the last one, you got the Kings, the Warriors, the Wolves, the Thunder, and the Spurs. And this is stupid in my eyes here. So what they'll do is play group play, just like the World Cup, and then they'll go to the knockout stage after that. So each, knockout after knockout. And then after that, if it goes to the championship, they go to Las Vegas to play this.
Oh my God!
And this is where things get absolutely
It's a money
stupid.
grab.
One, the trophy is stupid. 2, you're asking NBA fans of the respected teams to fly to Las Vegas to go watch their team play, which is a stupid idea. And 3, play the game in Las Vegas, so more than likely it's going to be played at the T-Mobile Arena here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my initial thoughts were this has got to be the dumbest thing the NBA's got to be doing. They're making money off of this league already. This in-season tournament does not need to happen. And I guess the incentives to that is going to be $500,000 to each player of the winning team.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good amount of money to say the least.
But what does it do for if you're a fan of a team? What does it do for you? Like if you're a Warriors fan, I'm a Lakers fan. This does absolutely nothing for us necessarily. We just want our team to win regular season games. So if the Lakers win the midseason tournament, I'm not gonna care because I want them to win the championship. That's what this whole thing is centered around. And I almost feel like what this is a practice run for a franchise in Las Vegas. And I feel like they're just trying to do this to sort of get a measure of how many people they think they can get into that stadium and how many folks they can get to travel to get to Vegas to see a team play. And I really think that's what this is. I think they're just trying to get some data and some information on bringing a Las Vegas NBA franchise, because I just don't see the point in, I don't see the point in any of it. It doesn't do anything for the players. It's still just regular season games. I guess they think that'll maybe make it more competitive. I mean, $500,000 isn't a small amount of money. especially if you're maybe on one of these other teams like the Portland Trailblazers or I mean, there's a lot more incentive for some of those other teams to get that 500K. But if you're an old team like your Warriors, $500,000 versus giving Draymond a night off, or if you're the Clippers and $500,000 versus giving Kawhi Leonard a night off, he only plays 50 games, if that. Um, this might be a dud if stars don't show up and actually compete. You know what I mean? And so I
Yeah.
think there's a
I,
chance for it to kind of fall apart, but we'll see.
they should have tried it out in the G League first to see how it would have went there. Now, obviously, you're not going to get the same kind of publicity,
Yeah,
but you can see how the response is going to be. Because in all honesty, you got a lot of NBA players who want load management. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
They want to save themselves for the playoffs. You got high caliber teams. This isn't on their radar. This isn't something that they're shooting for. I'm not sitting there saying I want to celebrate the NBA Cup. I'd rather be celebrating the NBA Finals trophy in
Exactly.
June. I think they should have kind of really thought this process out. The format's nice. Don't get me wrong, the format is good, but you got to make it really enticing for some of these teams here to say, hey, not only do you have an NBA Finals to go win, but this is actually kind of worth it as well.
Yeah.
Are you going to make rings for these guys? Are you putting up an NBA Cup banner in your arena? Because if that's the case, then the Kings, that's all the Kings are going to get is an NBA Cup banner instead of
Hey,
an NBA
and,
Finals
and maybe that's what this is.
championship.
Maybe this is the participation
That's
award for teams that don't have anything. Like I don't understand what we're doing here. We got a question from
maybe.
JJ, and actually I'm gonna have to look this up, JJ. But from my last understanding, these games do count towards the regular season totals. Is that correct?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Everything in this tournament will count towards the regular season here.
yeah. So this is
Um,
these are basically regular season regular season stats and games.
and then Effect says these old men gonna miss the tourney with back spasms. Like that's the thing. You can't be risking an injury for
Yeah,
for $500,000. That's what you're risking an injury
yeah. I
for.
mean, dude.
Is that there?
I mean, this tournament was created for all those mid-level players that got those big contracts, right? This is the Dylan Brooks Championship.
I
This
guess.
is the Bruce Brown Jr. Championship. You know what I mean? Like
The
that.
DiVincenzo
Yeah, this is the
Championship.
Fred Van Vliet Championship. Like this is the this is the type of thing that gets guys up to compete, and I guess whenever there isn't much else to compete for. So I
And they have the crazy part is the NBA is pretty strict on who qualifies for certain awards. So you're gonna have your players playing this if they want to be a part of the NBA first team, defensive
yeah,
player of the year. Like there's a league minimum of games that need to be played now, and that's what you're shooting it for. You know what I'm saying?
that's a good point.
JJ says, yeah,
It
I'm in Vegas that weekend. Might have to check it out. I mean, why not? You know,
it
it's going to
is
be there for your entertainment purposes. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to fathom because it's not like the NBA was struggling, making money. That's what blows my mind about
to,
this.
to to make it even worse. There will be a most valuable player
Okay, Jesus.
awarded for being a part of this competition. So you'll have an MVP of the in season tournament, and the so I I don't know, man. I feel like it's convoluting and watering down some of the accolades that already exist in the game. I don't think we need to start handing out trophies for an in season tournament. I mean, it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. I could be wrong. Maybe we get to this thing, players play really hard and actually compete for it. But
Oh, they discussed the possibility of you winning this tournament mid-season tournament. You were guaranteed an automatic spot into the playoffs.
yeah, that's not
No,
gonna happen.
no,
That's not gonna
that's
happen.
stupid. Come on,
That's not gonna happen.
NBA.
Come on, guys. You play an 82 game.
Uh,
You play an 82 game season, and you mean to tell me you're willing to just completely throw that in the waste bin for 2 weeks, for a week of basketball? So if the
yeah,
Houston Rockets or the Charlotte Hornets or who's another god awful team? I mean the Detroit Pistons, whoever, if they win this tournament somehow, right? And we're gonna just put them in the playoffs. We're gonna put them ahead of a team that's already seeded to be in that spot. Of course not. Come on, you've already got
no.
the play-in tournament. You've already got the play-in. Why would you need this to decide a playoff seed? You've already
And
done that.
the playing tournament's actually worked itself in pretty good because you're selling out the arena. It's actually worth watching, to
Yeah,
say the
stop
least.
tinkering.
Uh, oh God. Anyways, I don't know about you, T, but there's a couple of veterans inside the summer league right
Oh
now who
yeah,
have no
yeah.
business with
It's
being in there. And let's talk
stupid.
about the summer league veteran named James Wiseman. I saw him on the court. I was like, "What in the world are you doing out there, man?" And it was, I'm like, "Damn, you just can't. You know you have an injury problem, so just stay your ass at home, get healthy, work your way to the regular season." And it's like, obviously, the G League has or Summer League hasn't done anything for you because you got traded from from the team that drafted you,
Dude,
And then on top of that, you're getting shown up here in the Summer League too. Like, dude, just stay home. Get ready for the NBA season.
Wiseman has zero. Nothing good can come out of him playing in the summer league. The guy's had a big X on his head that says dud.
No.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, he's darn near a bust at this point, and I understand him wanting to keep his name out there so that he can show that he's still a viable NBA player because this guy was what was he, number 2 overall pick?
He's the number 2
So
overall
I
pick.
mean, of course he wants to keep his face out there, but man, I got to tell you, um, it doesn't do him any good. It doesn't make any sense. He had a nice showing with Detroit towards the end of the season. Just live with that and go back into it next season, man. Don't bother playing in summer league. You're just gonna get embarrassed. Just let it go.
Absolutely. And another guy, you saw him at the California
I did.
Classic, Keegan Murray, who was a starter on a postseason team as a rookie, decided to absolutely annihilate the competition in the summer league and thought he was King Dingaling out there in Sacramento. Again, you do. Can you explain this for me real quickly as far as like why just
I
why?
mean, after being in Sacramento, I mean, if he only played in Sacramento and not Vegas, I would understand. There was so much around him being on the floor. Folks were hollering. They had the whole Keegan Murray, thing going the entire game, and the guy looked good out there because hey, let's just call it what it is. Kind of like what I said about Max Christie. Once guys actually get a chance to play and get rotational minutes in the NBA, they're gonna pretty much destroy anybody, rookies, G League. They're gonna kill those guys, and that's exactly what he did. And you know I mean, I understand he gave Sacramento a show, and it was like there was their championship or something. But other than that, I don't know what the point of him playing in this in this, like, what's the point of him being? That's like if we put Austin Reeves out there. Just think about it. If the Lakers put Austin Reeves out there and had him play, in summer league, for what? Like, it doesn't make any sense. He's already proven himself. We know what he can do. We don't need to see him crap on guys trying to make
No,
NBA rosters and rookies. It's not going to make me feel any better about the player that he is.
dude, and that was just like the Warriors after a championship season. You had Moody and Kaminga playing in the summer league. I'm
Yeah, I
like, dude,
remember
you guys just
that.
won a championship.
Like,
Like, and you guys got valuable playing time to say the least. It's not like they were bench warmers. They were both playing very big roles. But Warriors got their ass whooped in the summer league. Don't get me wrong, they did.
yeah,
But it's like you don't need to save that roster spot for somebody else who's trying to make a name for themselves in the league.
yeah,
You guys are already in the association. There's no need to be a part of it after that.
yeah,
And I get it. You want to put a show on for the crowd, but you got to understand, man. After a season like that, you need the rest you can get. You got to get your body back into its right state of mind because after the finals, it's a month later, and it's the summer league after that.
yep, yep,
So
yep. Preseason, yeah.
it's you just got to stay away from these kind of things. In fact, the Warriors have now taken the court for the NBA Summer League, so I'll be tuning into
Who
that
are
in a
they? Who are
little
they
bit.
playing? Who are they playing?
They're playing the new. No, they're playing no
They're
Pelicans.
playing the Pelicans. Oh boy. All right. Well,
Yeah. Hey, just a little side talk. Greg Popovich has been in the league longer than dinosaurs have been ruling the earth, to say the least. Here,
yeah, you're doing all right.
he just signed a 5-year, little around $80 million contract, and I thought that. I mean, look, he's a great coach, but when have you ever heard in your lifetime a coach get 5 years, $80 million to coach a team. Would you imagine ever saying that in this world?
Hey, you know what? Pop's the highest paid coach in the league, I believe, at this point, and he deserves it. He's the best coach. I think what's most surprising is that he's gotten to this stage in his career and really wants to do this for 5 more years, especially with a team that's going to be pretty, very young.
Garbage.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be very young, and the Spurs have not shown any signs of wanting to compete. I mean, they traded away. Oh my gosh, what's the guy's name that went to
DeJounte
Atlanta? They
Murray.
traded away Dejounte Murray, who I thought was going to be a young star for them for years to come. So it doesn't really
Mhm.
seem like they're
Yep.
doing. Jakob Portal's gone. Every time they find talent, they just trade it and try to get picks. So I'm curious if they're going to change direction and actually try to field a contender. But to me, it's like Pop's just signing up to be a babysitter for about 3 years, and hopefully they come up with a team that's worth making the play-in tournament maybe. So I don't know, Pop, but if
Exactly.
I'm
Now
Pop,
this is
take the money, man. Whatever, get paid.
no, rightfully so. Rightfully, he earned the money. But now, I mean, Steve Kerr's he's in his final year of a contract as a coach.
Yeah.
So now look what he's going to be looking for after winning 4 championships. Thanks a lot, Greg Popovich.
To what to?
Now we're really going over the salary cap.
Oh man, well both the Warriors and the Lakers after this season are going to have some serious questions to answer. We've got Braun and AD's contract coming up to an end if they don't extend Anthony Davis, and you guys have a similar problem. You guys actually have Steph for a little bit longer, but you got
Steph's
Clay.
got 3 years
But
left.
you've got
Yes.
Clay, who is
Yeah.
coming up for an extension. This will be the final year of his contract. You brought Draymond back, so I mean, I guess it kind of sounds like you guys are really committed to this group being very, very old, in the 2 to 3 year mark from now. Because I don't know, man, they're gonna need a Walker for y'all in 3 years. I mean, I don't think that team's gonna be winning anything. I got to be honest with you, but
Nah,
but
they
let's.
gonna have they gonna have the handicap placards out for those three
Oh
guys
yeah.
at their parking
Oh yeah,
stalls.
all day, man, all day. By then, Steph Curry's son will be in college, you know. But anyway, I'm just playing. He won't be in college. He's nowhere near that age. But oh man. So we're gonna transition into Major League Baseball, the American pastime, and talk about a little bit of what's been going on during the summer in the league here. I'll start with your beloved Giants, who have shown some spark, and they kind of head to the break with a little bit of on a little bit on the downside, but overall have made strides and are now within a earshot, roughly 2.5 to 3 games of the Dodgers at the top of the NL West. So, B man, what's going on? What's contributed to the turnaround for the Giants, and how do you feel about their chances of taking the NL West?
They've kind of I wasn't during the preseason talk. They were kind of my pick. It was kind of to see how they were gonna
Yeah, they
show
were your
out. But
pick.
man,
Yep.
they're pretty solid right now. Now they're dealing with some tough injuries. Mitch Haniger, who they signed during the offseason, has got a broken forearm. Tyro Estrada, he's got a fractured hand as well. Dude, that those happen within weeks of each other. And they had a little bit of a slowdown to say the least, but they've been able to manage it. They lost, I think, at one point after going on a 10-game winning streak. They went on a 4-game losing streak to just counter that there. But this last week, they played some solid baseball to say, it's kind of reminded me of the 2010 team. So the 2010 Giants had a balance in pitching, and they scored just enough to win. The only difference is they're getting contributions late in the game. Like, dude, you want to talk about the ultimate back and forth? Dude, like, if there's a left-handed pitcher, they're going to pull a left-handed hitter to bring a right-handed hitter in,
Mm.
or vice versa. Right-handed pitcher, they're going to bring in a left-handed hitter. They're the only team in baseball that really does that. They keep their players rotated to get the matchups that they wanted, and for the most part, it's really worked out for them. They've been winning they've been coming back. Like this team really scraps till the very end to keep themselves in these games to make sure that they do everything they can to get a victory. So, do I think they could take the NL West? Absolutely. No one's ran away with this just yet. The Dodgers are finding their stride. They're starting to get pretty damn good right now, but Arizona's slowing down. The Padres still suck. Um, the Rockies, who were just playing the Giants, you can tell that's a team that's growing to say the least here. So, if the Giants can get these two players back with Haniger and Estrada, the pitching kind of turns around a little bit. They got one of the best closers in the game in Camilo Duvall. Dude, the dude is 102 miles an hour off the gun. He's very hard to hit here. So, really, really liking what the Giants have done over the last, I would say 2 months to say. It was a rough April, but May and June, they really turned they got their season back on track here. So it's going to be a fun, August, as they say, the dog days of summer is going to start rearing its head here. And that's where you're going to see a lot of teams kind of fizzle out towards the end there.
Yeah, man. Well, I can't hit an 80-mile-an-hour fastball, so good for that's crazy. Moving on to some other stuff around the MLB, we'll start with a phenom, or at least so it seems, with Elly De La Cruz, a 6'5" phenom for the Cincinnati Reds, who has been just doing a lot, hitting the ball, stealing bases, making incredible plays on defense.
Plate too.
Yeah, stole home plate. He stole it. He stole it in such a way that it made the pitcher question his entire life while it was happening. And then when the pitcher finally threw the ball, it flew. It was an errant throw, far to the right of the catcher. So yeah, he's doing some stuff people aren't ready for. So tell me a little bit more about this kid, man, and what he's bringing to the game.
Dude, he's brought a shot in the arm to the game of baseball, man. And this is what baseball needs, and they need to capitalize on it. There's so much Elly talk right now, but it's actually hiding the fact that Shohei Ohtani is probably having one of the monstrous seasons you can imagine here. We're not talking about it because of how exciting Elly De La Cruz is. And that's what baseball needs is a talent like this to really just spark the interest of baseball fans. And it's even put Cincinnati in first place of their own division into the All-Star break, which I would have never thought would happen because outside of Joey Votto, I don't know anyone on that team. But it's a young team. It's an exciting team. They got fans showing up to the game because you have a player that's worth paying the money to go see. So when you have a talent like that, you really need to capitalize on his popularity. And baseball's doing that job there. They're kind of making him the vocal point. But then you still have Shohei in the back kind of being that, still being that face of the league. But this is a talent, dude, he's 6'5" and sprints around the bases. And you don't see a lot of 6'5" baseball players, to say the least.
No, not at all.
And, dude, he is a speed demon. On top of that, dude throws it 98 miles an hour from one end of the field to the other in the infield. And that's some serious heat right there. So baseball's done a great job with embracing this talent here and just letting him showboat. You see the necklaces. You see the charisma. In a game where they say, it's got to be traditional. You can't have nothing like that happen on our field. You see the excitement that it's bringing to the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just continue on with that excitement. Let these players kind of be free a little bit, to say the least, without listening to the old heads of the game, and just embrace what this new change is.
Absolutely, man. It's always good to have new blood and to see the excitement. You want to bring athleticism to your sport so people can know that what they're watching is the best of the best. And you were seeing that a lot with De La Cruz. So that's cool, man.
Let me say something real quick.
Yeah.
These stupid ass oven mitts that these players are wearing now when they're fighting. And Tosh, take a look into it. They wear these protective ass things on their hand. So they don't go jamming their finger, right? So they wear it on one hand, but these dudes are sliding head first and touching the base with a hand without the oven mitt on. It drives me nuts, man. They look like they're trying to pull something hot out of the oven, and it's in their back pocket. Dude, oh my god, dude.
A sliding mitt.
So bad.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That could easily double.
The kids nowadays.
It could easily double as an oven mitt. I see where you're going with this.
It doesn't make sense to me, man. It really doesn't. And all I'm saying is just, look, I swear to God, like, when young kids watch what major leaguers do, they think it's the coolest thing in the world, so they want to go do it. I swear to God, baseball has turned Little League Baseball into a fashion design show. You know what I'm saying?
So the kids are walking around with these. They're also using these in Little League as well?
They have them in their back pockets because they see the major
Oh,
leaguers do it.
oh
They
man.
got the eye black that is basically covering half their face because they see the major leaguers do it. And then the worst part is baseball's the MLB players wear these ginormous sunglasses, man. Basically, they go down to here to up above their eyebrows. And now the kids are doing it, and when the kids wear it, it looks like a full face mask on their face because the glasses are too damn big
Mike,
for
come
their
on,
faces.
man.
Hey, look, I get it. It's fashionable. I know you're trying to look like that, but that doesn't make you a better player.
Yeah.
Okay, go out and practice. Go hone your skills, and that'll make you a better baseball player. Wearing oversized sunglasses, putting on 2 pounds of eye black, and wearing oven mitts while you play. No, I've never seen a little leaguer slide head first. So stop it.
Oh,
Okay, just go out and have fun and play this game, man. Just stop with these oven mitts,
so
man.
this is just like the middle school kid covered in Under Armour with the full leg, sleeves on, out there jacking up threes like nobody's business. Yes, I understand exactly. It looks cool, but at the end of the day, you still got to know how to play the game.
That's all it is, man. So look, just stop with the nonsense. Unless you're sliding head first every single time, that's a different story. But if you ain't sliding head first, dude, I slid head first. You know what you do? You hit your bag with the palm of your hand. You don't sit there and put your fingers in it like this. You slide like this. So you shouldn't be jamming your fingers in the first place, man. It's like, damn.
Who doesn't want to walk around with a goddamn Muppet on their hand playing baseball? I mean, it's
Right? You look like, oh my god, man. They should do these kids, man. I
oh
tell you.
man. So we're going into the All-Star break with the MLB, and one of the most prestigious events of the break is the Home Run Derby. And obviously that's a big deal. I always enjoy watching the Home Run Derby, and I'm gonna make my kids watch it this time so they can get a handle on what it actually is. Just curious of because I gotta get them into sports. My son's just now getting into basketball. Got to introduce more and more sports to my 6-year-old who doesn't play. Did basketball once, stopped, did jujitsu, and now it's on to the next thing. So I gotta get him some baseball exposure. But anyway, so outside of a game every now and again. So so who do you got? Home run derby predictions. Who do you think is going to come out there and just blow the sleeve off the ball? What's your prediction be?
I am going to go with Pete Alonso, 2-time home run derby champ. Can absolutely send the ball at an easy 450 feet, and we all know chicks dig the long ball. So if there's any event you guys should watch for baseball, watch the home run derby. It is exciting. They do it's not something that takes forever now. It's a bracket style home run derby, and on top of that, it is time. So we're not sitting there watching a home run derby for 4 hours. They actually cut the timing down on it. So I'm gonna go with Pete Alonso to bring home a third championship here.
All right, so you got it, folks. Book it.
Who you got?
Go to Vegas. I'm gonna go with a dark horse. Well, maybe not a dark horse. I'm gonna go with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I'm gonna take him and see. I know he's obviously his dad was a big home run hitter, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with him. We'll see how he does.
That's not a bad pick right there, and that's another guy easy 450 feet right off the bat.
Yeah,
so,
you get some excitement.
You know what they should do? They should allow these guys to use like aluminum bats.
Oh shit!
Just to make things interesting, dude. Just hitting missiles at everyone.
You really want to hear that sound, man? That ping. That's what it's like.
I want to see a baseball go 550 feet. Yes, absolutely. Here, so I'm all for it. Hell, even let them use cork bats. I mean, it's the home run derby, man. You want to keep people entertained. By all means,
everybody get a shot of steroids right before, whatever you need to do. Get some.
Oh no, we can't
get some human growth hormone. Go. Right before you get out there on.
Baseball made all this money off of that wonderful steroid, but yet they don't want people using it because man, we don't want any money coming in.
Exactly, you got that right. Oh man.
And then the mid-season classic will close everything out. Obviously, these are wild predictions here because, in all honesty, I think baseball's the only All-Star game where they actually kind of give a little bit of an effort there. You definitely don't want to be beaming someone with a 94 miles an hour fastball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So T, I'm gonna let you go off a wild pick here. Who would you pick in the All-Star game here?
I'm gonna go with and folks, this is a toss up, so don't laugh at me. But I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the AL. What the heck? I'm gonna go with the American
Hey,
League, and we'll see what happens. Now remind me, B, and forgive me, folks, for being a novice here. But does this decide something for one of these teams? Does one of them get a home game or something during the playoffs or in the world?
I think I don't know if they changed it, but I know the winner of the All-Star game, that the National League wins the All-Star game, then they
They
host
host
the first game of the
the
World
World Series.
Series.
Okay, got it, got
Yeah,
it.
I don't know if that's changed though. I don't know if that's changed, and that actually is pretty was a pretty good incentive to say the least, especially when you have teams that are in playoff contention playing in the All Star game. Like you got guys out there kind of really giving it their all because you have a shot at being in the World Series and you got a chance to host that game. You want to make sure that your team that the team helps
Yeah,
you. But I mean, then
just
again,
give them.
if I was not in the playoffs, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, exactly. Just give them $500,000. You know.
And have a playing tournament. Let's just do that.
Exactly. Here you go.
No, not a playing tournament, an
In
in-season
season
tournament, which
tournament.
is still
Yeah, fun
yeah.
times. Fun times.
I'm gonna go with the National League. Obviously, I do. You know, my team is in the National League. They have a couple of All Stars in them as well. So I'm gonna go with the National League. But unfortunately, it's not something that's high on my radar. But it is the All Star game, so I'll enjoy it for a little bit there.
Absolutely. And if folks, you want to drop something in the chat about who you've got, go ahead, chime in, please.
Drop it in there.
Awesome.
Drop it in there. But you got anything else, T? Anything kind of off the subject here, or?
Oh, not really.
Oh,
What happened?
oh!
Something happened?
Apparently, there was this famous all-white party, and I'm not talking about the skin color. I'm talking about the clothes color here.
Oh, okay.
Um,
You talking about the Rick Rubin party?
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Did you hear the wild ass reports of Tom Brady and Kim Kardashian?
Oh God, she's at it again.
She's at
Oh
it.
no! Hide your jewelry, hide your money, hide your children. Kim is on the prowl.
For some reason, that is a report that is out that Kim and Tom Brady were being a little flirtatious at this
Oh
this all-white
no!
dress-up party.
Yeah. I mean, so Tom, do we really want to see Tom Brady on a reality show hanging out with Kanye West's kids? I mean, it has to be the messiest thing ever. Come on, folks. Do better, Brady.
I can you blame the man though? He's single.
Oh, I mean, but can you? Yeah, okay, he's single, but I mean, Kim K, she's all right, and you know what comes along with her. You got to deal with all the cameras, man. Like you got to be on TV. Their mom has ordained it. They have to be on television. So I don't know too many guys that want to sign up for that. Tom Brady has been, he's had a wife who obviously was a huge model. But he wasn't on television every day, so I don't know. I mean, Tom, you do you, Tom. Have fun. Just don't commit. Because I feel like I don't want to see something happen to you. And I don't know if you noticed, but the other guys that go into this situation, they don't come out the same.
The only guy who's benefited from this was Ray J.
Oh man.
Don't do it, Tom.
Oh man.
Don't do it. Listen to us. If you find your way into the B&T Sports Talk, just scroll to the end of the video. We'll tell you don't do this, okay?
Don't do this to your career, Tom. I don't even like you, but somehow I don't want you to fall into this trap. I should be wishing for you too, considering that I'm a Raider fan, but you know what? Even you, Tom Brady, don't deserve to fall into the Venus flytrap that is the Kardashians.
Kim Kardashian.
Oh man. That's
Oh
terrible,
man,
man.
when I heard that, I almost spit my water out. I was at work too when I heard that, and I
What?
was like, "This cannot be true.
Dude, don't
There's
do
no
it.
way he's
No.
considering it."
Tom, stop it. Go back to hanging out with Dude Perfect and throwing footballs at drones, man. Do something stupid. Have fun. But
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian, dude, you don't want any of that, bro. That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, man.
Hey, did you hear about all the ESPN layoffs they did?
Oh, that's a good point, man. So apparently ESPN decided not decided. I guess they're not making money anymore. What and I can tell you why. Their talent isn't the greatest, to be quite honest with you. And most of the shows, they tend to sway away from sports in general. I don't know. I don't particularly like watching ESPN anymore. That's why you should come and watch BNT Sports Talk Show, because we're not gonna
We can't. They can't fire us.
we're not gonna fire ourselves. That's number one. Number two, you get a little bit more of a genuine perspective, and I think that's what's missing at ESPN. You just don't have genuine people there. You have caricatures and actors at ESPN, and so that's why I don't really like watching them so much, man.
Let me give you the names that got
I
let
don't
go.
like that they
Jalen
got rid of
Rose.
Jed Van Gundy, though. I do not like that.
No, that is the worst thing they could have done. Jeff Van Gundy was just a comedian for the NBA games,
yeah, man. Come on. He's iconic. That haircut, or lack thereof, he's an iconic NBA guy. You can't do that to him.
You can't do that to him. Here's some other guys. Jeff Van Gundy, Jalen Rose,
I guess it's
Keyshawn Johnson, Max Kellerman.
Whoa, Max
Susie
got
Colbert,
the boot, huh?
Chris Max Kellerman got the boot. Chelios, Matt Hasselback, Steve Young,
Hasselback,
Rob Nikovich, Neil Everett, who
wow.
I like watching him with who's the other guy? Neil Everett and I can't remember the brother's name. It's blanking on me right now. Ashley Brewer, Drew Lee, LaFonso Ellis, Todd McShay.
Todd McShay's been there
was
forever.
on top of his draft.
Yeah.
He's been there forever, and that was kind of shocking here. Jordan Cornette, Jason Fitz, and David Pollock, who's a big staple for the college football scene there. Dude, you got to be kidding me! This is a lot of it's good talent, to say the least, that you just letting go. But Jeff Van Gundy, man, that was a hard one to take, because I was just like, man. That was one of the greats.
Yeah, and the fact that he was coupled with Mark Jackson, but they kept Mark Jackson, is kind of what was that about? I just don't. I guess ESPN needs to figure it out, man. They're paying Stephen A. Smith the most money, but I don't really like Stephen A. Smith that much either, and I just don't know what direction ESPN is attempting to go in. First, they wanted to be ultra conservative, then they wanted to try to be more liberal. And then now it's almost like I don't even know what you guys are doing at all. I think they need to get more genuine people on there. I used to enjoy the Dan Patrick days, when you had guys on TV cracking jokes, talking about highlights and stuff like that. And now it's just become it's not political at all. That's not what I'm trying to say, but it's become a more combative environment. And I don't know if that's necessarily what you're looking for. I remember, Rachel Nichols was a great talent, who I know she put herself in a little bit of heat with her comments.
She did that herself.
She was good at her job, but they decided to get rid of her. I understand that. There are a couple of folks I can think of that were really good on there. A couple of them were African American who were fired. I don't know why I can't think of their name. Oh, Jamel Hill and and Michael. Oh man, I can't think of his name right now. But they were on ESPN for a little while before they things started getting a little political, and then they let them go. And you know, I don't know. I don't the group they have now. I think Kendrick Perkins makes me laugh every now and again. Richard
Dude,
Jefferson.
I can't stand Kendrick
I
Perkins,
mean,
man,
but
because when he
he's
talks,
just
that dude
comedy,
makes
man. He's just comedy.
trash out of his
Most of
mouth,
what he's
man.
saying doesn't make any sense. He every time I watch him,
No.
he's saying every player that was ever good is going to the Lakers, which is the dumbest take any person could ever make, right? And then Richard Jefferson is kind of ho hum, and then and my the worst Mad Dog Rosillo. Oh my god, I can't even. Why? I mean, why? Like the dude is
No,
saying nothing for about 30 minutes. It's terrible.
Mad Dog had his own show on the MLB network.
Yeah.
And then now he goes to ESPN and he's like, he sounds stupid trying to talk basketball.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's why when JJ Redick put him in his place, I was like, thank God someone finally did, man.
yeah,
It just, he went on for too long.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the guy's out here trying to talk about Larry Bird, and I mean, it's like, look, sorry, bro, but that was like 40 years ago. You're gonna have to know about, you're gonna have to come forward with this. And I don't know. I just feel like ESPN has to find a direction with some of their stuff and really start pushing it in the right direction. Because right now, I don't. I mean, I could
You
turn it
remember
on a
the show
little bit.
Sports?
Go ahead.
Remember the show Sports Nation that they used to have?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was a great show, man.
Yeah.
That was right for the talent that was there, and then they just dismantled it. And it was like, dude, that was actually some pretty good. That was some pretty good show right there.
Dude, they just need some. They need something fresh. I think before you know it, Stephen A. Smith will be gone because, let's just be honest, things get old. I mean, and not to mention, we need to talk about Fox and the fact that Shannon Sharp left the First Take thing, with Skip Bayless, who's ran off another person, and I don't know. I just think in general you need to keep watching BNT Sports Talk Show because at the end of the day, what you're starting to see is more ex NBA, ex NFL players having their own shows on YouTube and other forums that are drawing more attention than ESPN is. And I think that's what ESPN is having a problem with. And that's just because you just don't have any real intelligent talent that's up there stating something that we all want to listen to. Most of it is just, they're just regurgitating the same crap over and over and over and over again. Or it's Stephen A. Smith screaming at the television, whichever one.
Watch Stephen A. Smith go back to Skip Bayless on.
Oh, First Take. That may happen. They may fire him tomorrow and say, "Sorry, Stephen A. We're gonna And I'll give you another example of how stupid it's. Will Kane was on ESPN. Will Kane.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
knows nothing about sports. You know what I mean? Like some of the stuff that they do or some of it doesn't make sense. So it's hard to understand the direction that ESPN is trying to go in. So good luck to them. I don't watch them that much anymore because one, I don't really watch live cable TV as much anymore. But then also it's so much easier just to get your news, formulate your own opinion, or listen to a talk show like ours where it's just two dudes talking about what everybody already knows and giving you a fresh angle, fresh information from their own perspective instead of listening to the same people say the same things over and over again.
Absolutely. So with that being said, y'all make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. Make sure you tune in every Sunday at 6:30 to listen to these two dudes talk sports. That was a good one right there.
That was a good transition, B.
Perfect.
That was good.
Yeah.
All right. And on that note, before we ruin it, we'll see y'all. We will see y'all next week. Same time, same place.
Have a good one, y'all.
All right.